Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are preparing the stream to go live soon. Thank you all so much for your patience as we are preparing some final details to showcase the gameplay of EVERSPACE 2, talk about some stuff that we've revealed this week, where we're at with all that type of stuff. Seeing everybody from everywhere, you're doing all the things. I'm seeing Facebook, I'm seeing Twitch, I'm not sure if I'm seeing YouTube yet, but rest assured we're going to be following all the chats, making sure we are answering everything. So please be patient with us as we're prepared to set up. We'll be live in about 4 minutes. Yep, I see YouTube now as well. Thank you so much, Geekbyte. I appreciate it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream. I'm your host this afternoon or evening, depending on your time zone. My name is Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, giving you a slice of what EVERSPACE 2 has to offer. We're actually going to be starting off with something we revealed earlier this week, which is the tutorial level of EVERSPACE 2. We are very early in development here. In fact, we've only been working on it for about a year and a half. And we have about 2 more years ahead of us. As such, we are doing a Kickstarter. As of right now, there are 3 days left. That is it. Just 3 days left. So if you like any part of what you see here and you want to be involved with the development process, if you want to contribute to that, I implore you to go check out the Kickstarter. You saw it on the opening page. We'll talk more about that as we go through here. Otherwise, I hope everybody's doing well. I am seeing all channels. It's all good. Thank you so much for everybody being here. We do these streams for you guys. This is a community stream to let you guys see the gameplay, let you guys ask any and all questions that you have for us so that we will deliver on those questions as well as we possibly can. We want to be as transparent as possible through this process. We know some people are very shaky about crowdfunding campaigns and the gaming industry as a whole with, shady developer plays and whatnot. So help us be your guide. Ask us the questions. We're going to tell you like it is. That's just our process. So, all of that being said, we're going to dive right in here. We are starting a new game with this exclusive Kickstarter demo. This is not something that is available to anybody else right now. This is just a development build that we have here in the studio. So, away we go. All right. So here are the very opening bits of EVERSPACE 2. You would normally see a cutscene that's going to expand upon the story as to why you're specifically in this moment. But basically, we are inside of this asteroid, and we are a wingman to a group of miners. And we are tasked with, aiding them in their mission to get into the mines, extract the resources, and get out. So we are the muscle. Here we see some sort of anemone creature. Now you can see here that this is completely a blockout. It's not moving. It doesn't have any coloration to it whatsoever yet. Everything that you see here right now during the stream, all of this is, as I said before, a development build. That means you're going to see a lot of stuff that's just a work in progress, not done in the slightest. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. So if you're like, oh man, this game doesn't seem finished at all, it's because it's not. There's going to be a lot of stuff to get done, a lot of stuff to do that we want to work with you guys in order to make this the best it can possibly be. So we cleared out the infestation on this door. It's going to open up and we're going to fly right through it. Will the demo include planetary landing? We've already got Bloodstar asking over on Twitch. The demo does not include planetary landing. That is something that we showed a bit more about today. We will highlight that reveal, that showcase rather, because we've already talked about having planetary landing. And we will go in accordingly from there. Now here we are navigating this large asteroid, as you can see. Very, very spacious. A lot of light coming from these crystals. Don't worry, we're probably going to tweak that. We want it to be dark and ominous. And our foreman is saying, hey, you need to keep going on. I'm like, hey, I'm getting these signals of like these wrecked ships or whatever. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Do your job. All right, well, I'm not going to do that. I want to go looking and seeing what's on these little wrecks anyway. So a lot of different sites are going to have lots of different loot that you can collect through the game. In fact, EVERSPACE 2 is an arcadey space shooter that's also a looter shooter in an open world RPG environment. So resources and items are going to be a very big element to how you are playing the game, how you are interacting with everything and bringing it all together. So we're going to go ahead and take this iron. You'll see here we've got our cargo bay, and then up here is our equipment on board our ship. All of these pieces of equipment can be found at varying levels of rarity. All of them can be changed to have very different attributes and modifiers on top of them, creating synergy effects galore towards the way you would like to play the game, as well as different opportunities that may open up for you. So for now, we just have some pretty standard weapons. We have secondary weapons, which are going to be consumed upon use, so you have to be careful about when you use them and how you use them. They can be refilled. And then we have all of these modules that are providing various necessities for the ship. These include having energy at all to use in varying capacities. We have shields, which are going to prevent damage, of course. We have plating, which is going to be our secondary safety measure. If our shield goes down, we're going to absorb our armor shots first before it affects our hull. Next, we have our sensors, which allows us to see more in these areas that we're going to be flying about and exploring. And finally, we have our thrusters here, which give us the ability to traverse this open world faster. Last in this line, we have this empty cargo unit slot. This is going to allow us to hold more stuff and have some crazy modifiers on it as well. So it's not just a boring little slot that just increases how much you can hold. It's going to have a lot of various effects on there as well. Yeah, the pumpkin was removed. That was a Halloween exclusive thing there, Bloodstar, you crazy person. Looks awesome. Great to hear. It's good to see the chat is going on Facebook as well as YouTube and seeing, OMG, amazing. Excellent. I'm glad that you guys are liking this. Again, this is work in progress. There's a lot that can change, a lot that we're still tweaking and refining here. So glad that you're enjoying it. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and go through this next little section of the game world. We've reached the entrance, and yet there's this broken drone that is now tasking us with standard firing and tracking your target. So he doesn't even attack, he's just going to be following us around. And I'm going to swap over to our autocannon, because the autocannon does a lot more damage with kinetic output versus energy output. The difference between those, kinetic is going to be far more superior when attacking hull, whereas energy is far more superior when attacking shields. Pretty straightforward, at least we hope. So we're going to just autocannon the heck out of this. Take it out. Foreman's going to open up the door lock so that we can fly in and figure out what's going on here and extract all the resources. So there's an exchange going on here where this engineer says that everything sucks here. Like, there's a bunch of wreckages, there's some major problems, and he's not sure that we should even be here at all. And you're just like, you know, it's fine. We're just going to do our job, get in, get out. So we're flying over here to this site, and it seems to be out of power. So we don't have any light in here. Again, these crystal sources, probably going to tone that down a bit. We do want it to be very creepy as you're flying into these spaces. And now we have to find some way to power the generator back online. Now, there are some floating energy cells in the area. This is going to present you a new element that is exclusive to EVERSPACE 2. Does not come out of the picture in EVERSPACE 1 at all. Now you are able to grapple different objects that are floating about in space. This also includes, but not limited to, space debris, other drones, enemy missiles, and a lot more fun stuff that you'll see in the future. So here we're going to take these energy cells back, plop them into place, and we're going to keep on moving through this. Taking this energy cell right back to the middle. I see another question. I want to answer this real briefly. Excelsior! Will items get individual names and descriptions like in Galaxy on Fire 2? Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll actually show some of that off if we can find them when we move into our next segment of the stream. But yes, the answer is absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now we've applied power to this generator. These orange lights are now coming on so that we can see the rich mineral yields, and our mining buddies are diving in to try and get as much as possible in order to get the job done. And of course, in much traditional fashion for any tutorial that needs to elevate the drama, something seems to be going awry. So now we have all of these little beacons that are scanning us. They're sending out our coordinates. And we're not really sure what's going on, but the cave seems to be shaking. So we're tasked now with shooting all of these scanners down. I don't know about you, but I think it's probably a little bit too late for this. But we'll do it anyway. For any of those veteran players out there of EVERSPACE 1, you'll notice that the controls of the ship are nearly identical to what we gave you in the first one. The controls were praised by their intuitive nature, very fast-paced arcadey. It's not realistic by design, so if you're looking for a space sim, you're going to get mildly disappointed, but that's not what we're making. That's not what we're making here. So please don't get confused. It's not a space sim, it's an arcadey space looter shooter in an open world RPG setting. So now we see what all the shaking's about. We have this boar that's just coming right through the walls, launching a bunch of Weber drones at us. And we're going to take them out so that they can't do anything. We're just going to use our pulse laser because they're weak enough. We can target them well. And if we're quick enough, then the attack drones won't get a jump on us with them locked down. Perfect. Now the attack drones come in. Let's use some of our missiles. If they don't shoot them down first. Perfect. There we go. So we've successfully defended the miners from that little assault. And now we are locked in here. It seems that the Outlaws have something else in mind for us, but our engineer seems to think that we might be able to escape through the borehole, as well as the protagonist here. So the engineer goes ahead and hacks the door so that we can have an escape. So now we need to guide our forces out of here. We're going to go first as the wingman to make sure that nobody gets the jump on us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the intro mission to EVERSPACE 2. Here we see just a really quick cutscene. Escaping, leaving with the miners. Imagine some sort of explosion going around that one. That's one of our buddies known as the engineer. And he's going to be left behind unless we do something. But we'll know more about what happens in this situation whenever the game launches. Or even before it launches, probably, because we give you guys a lot of information. Let's be honest. So we're going to go ahead and jump out of that tutorial mission, and we're going to dive into something that's a little bit more robust, something that I can show you much more about the standard gameplay elements of what we are aiming for. And we'll just dive right in. I'm going to check some of these questions out, because I'm seeing a lot of you guys saying hi, hello, welcome. You guys are all beautiful, lovely people. It's great. Love the Freelancer gameplay style. Hey, thank you. Yeah, we're big fans of Freelancer. Definitely taken some inspiration from them. But rest assured, we are trying to make our own unique gameplay experience. This is not meant to be some sort of spiritual successor or some type of clone thereof. It is definitely something that we are trying to do that we feel, is what we've always wanted to do and simply hasn't been done before out there, bringing together a lot of those elements that we really enjoy and love. And if you really enjoy and love it too, we hope that you'll join us along for the ride through this development, because our Kickstarter only has 3 days left. That's it. 3 days left. That's 3 days of your ability to join our development process, for you to put your money where your mouth is and give us your critical feedback and review, so that we can move forward. You'll get access, depending on the tier that you go, into the alpha, the beta, the early access, and obviously the full launch as those all uncouple through the course of next year and leading into 2021. Wish those explosions lingered on the screen longer. It's so satisfying. Oh man, we can tweak that. No problems. The tutorial mission vital to the story, or can it be skipped for later players? Absolutely skippable. Absolutely skippable. You're beautiful too. Oh, please stop it. You guys are the beautiful ones. These streams aren't possible without you. Excellent. All right. So now we are in what's called the home base. This is subtly named, where we have our different ships in our hangar that we can choose from before we go launching out into space. This is located in a very specific part of the world map, right here on this little planetoid out of all of these various solar systems that will have you be able to explore. Now, another big change from EVERSPACE 1 to EVERSPACE 2, for all of you veterans out there, EVERSPACE 1 was a roguelike. So everywhere you ventured to, it was procedurally generated. You had points of interest that were mashed up together that created some unique challenges that you really had to fly by the seat of your pants through based on the types of resources that you gathered and the equipment that you obtained. Sometimes it could get a little dirty on you. And sometimes you were completely overpowered. Here, that's kind of gone. Now, all of these locations, all of these little points and sites, these are handcrafted in this new open world that we are establishing. There's about 10 points in each of these solar systems. That could increase considerably over the course of development, or it could stay about there. Who knows? And like I said, each one of those handcrafted. So in this case alone, just in this showcase right here, that would mean we would have about 80 handcrafted, unique locations for you to venture to. And that includes in-planet atmosphere combat. So you're going to be able to go to a lot of different sites, experience a lot of different things. So in the hangar bay, we have 3 different ships. These are all the same ship class. This is the medium ship class. There are 3 different ship classes to choose from: light, medium, and heavy. We did do a little bit of a showcase as to the lighter fighter and the heavy fighter designs. They were very, very much blockout, work in progress. Our medium ship classes are the most fleshed out, which is what I'm going to be flying with you today. We also use a modular system approach in crafting your ship. That's right. So what that means is that this cockpit, this engine, these wings, all of these things you can customize to your liking. There are a lot of different options. I only have a mere 11 different variations to show you here. So I'm just going to go through and just kind of show you some of what they can look like and how you can fly them around based on your color selections and, just the way that you generally want to fly around. Just a couple. This is just 11. And each ship class has their own unique stylizations. And that means you're going to have just an absurd amount of ways to customize and fly around. Alright, so we're back to this Bumblebee color. I think we're going to take this guy out for a fly. This is the Sentinel. It's actually a familiar ship in the EverSpace universe. It was seen in the DLC of EverSpace 1. Granted, it looked a bit different. That's because the wings have changed. But the wings are normally akin to something more like this. So you can definitely see this is still a Sentinel. It's just a different look, different appearance. That, again, you can customize to your liking. All right. Let's go ahead and launch into this bad boy and show you some of the stuff that this demonstration has to offer. Are there any additional factions compared to EverSpace 1? Oh, Excelsior. Asking these great questions. I love it. I want to answer this fully and say yes, absolutely. And that is because in this vast open world, I think it would be rather boring if there were just the 3 main factions again that were in EverSpace 1, which were the GMB, the Outlaw, and the Okar. Surely there's more brewing in the vastness of space that we are going to be exploring around here. But we'll reveal that in time, when the time is right, as we have more to show at a later point. Something that we did kind of tease at and reveal is that there are clearly different outlaw factions. So just the outlaws themselves, they're not considered one faction anymore. But again, more information later. We've also got a couple new AI patterns, as you can see that guy whizzing around us in a way that made it a little bit more difficult to track and hit. We also have separated out, this from your guys' feedback and criticism of EverSpace 1, we decided to separate out both boosting and firing into 2 separate energy pools. So now you can boost and fire and not have to worry about the other at your leisure. Oh, excuse me as I scratch my eye. Whew. My apologies. Woo! What's the schedule for today? Just the demo? Tulul Tulameo on Twitch, I believe. Yeah, so we just showcased the tutorial. We're going to do some level gameplay here in the demonstration, of course. And then we're also going to move into a segment where we talk about the stuff that we revealed this week at Rockfish Games, including but not limited to the Kickstarter update number 10, where we talk about environments. So definitely stay tuned. If you've missed that, we'll be covering all those delicious details for you and have a nice conversation. Obviously, we are also doing questions and answers basically at any point in the stream when I look over. If you ask a question and I don't get it answered, rest assured I am not ignoring you. There's just a lot of chats that I'm following. We are live on YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, Twitch. I think we might even be live in Steam. We were having some issues with that earlier. But there's a lot of different sites that I'm watching, so just be patient with me. I'll try and get to all of them. I know that we also have some individuals as well, like other individuals on the team who are also diving into various chats, answering questions. And I know that there are some really strong community individuals out there too who are answering along with us. So thank you for that, making this all possible for you guys. So in this particular environment, we have this cracky little wall right here, which we absolutely want to destroy and pick up some sweet loot. Now you'll notice that these pieces of loot were blue instead of just white. That's because these are superior types of equipment. So what that means is that they will have an additional modifier on top of them that grants some sort of benefit or bonus, much akin to like a Diablo experience. So for the itemization as a whole, I think it's best to look at EVERSPACE 2 as kind of like a Diablo in space type of an experience. So here we have 15 repair. That is one of 6 different main attributes of your playable ship that you'll be able to manage later. Don't have it quite in this build yet, but those statistics are going to give you certain benefits and maybe certain drawbacks even, depending on how you build it out with all of your other components. We are going to go ahead and swap out this energy core because it's just straight better. Same with this energy plating. We have 6 structure as well as 95 more armor than our other armor plate here. So we're also going to apply that just like so. Let's pick up some scrap metal and then take out this drone. Nice and easy. Now, because this is an arcade spaceship shooter, we also wanted to have some power-ups that just make you stronger and better. Seems to make sense. So what we just did is we picked up this ancient damage glyph, which just increases our damage output so long as we're holding it. Now, it's not finalized, and this being the interaction of how you would use a power-up. Some people have already noted and said, well, it kind of stinks that it's now taking up a slot to be held. So we're looking into different ways that we're doing that. But your feedback is already proving to be invaluable from just the demonstrations, just from the reveal that we've had earlier this year pertaining to our development cycle already. So thank you everybody who's contributed any type of feedback, as well as like the fan art videos and the screenshots and even the drawings. Seriously, you guys make this job so much fun. Alright, so here, as we're flying around this environment, we've now come across this shadow creature. And we're not really sure what he's doing here or why, but we have a command to grab it, so that's what we're going to do. And now we're instructed to find another creature. So we're just going to go up here and, ooh, well, we see him turning white there. He doesn't seem to like that very much. So we have to stay in the shadows to get to this other creature. Now, because we have handcrafted these environments, this one's really simple to complete. This is just one very standard challenge that you would find in a random area to bring 2 star-crossed lovers that happen to be shadow monsters together, which give you dark matter. Game isn't balanced yet. That reward could vary pretty dramatically. But if you accomplish these tasks by performing the rules that you need to follow, which in that case was staying in the shadows, transporting from one side to the other, you will be rewarded for it. Now here we have showed some grapple elements. We can actually throw these barrels back at this guy that he's launching at us. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to blast him as much as we can as well. Where's another barrel? Throw it. Good. And just get wrecked. Perfect. Wonderful. So now we've taken out this little side base here. We've got this shipwreck. We're going to go ahead and search it. Maybe there's something really nice on it. Just some credits. And a scattergun. We at least show that off. So the scattergun makes its appearance again. This was the shotgun in space from EVERSPACE 1. Able to just fire at targets close up to dish out some very serious damage. So maybe we'll have that opportunity in a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to sneak into this site, and we're just going to pop it with the scattergun. Almost one-shot him, actually. Excellent. And now we'll enable this inactive drone for ourselves. See what's in these containers. I don't want to open this one up. Let's just shoot it. Perfect. Nice. So we gathered a couple of different elements. It's all good. So now we're going to activate our cruise drive. Gives us a bit more speed in these environments so that we can get back to our home base. And let's take another ship for a spin. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's open this secret too. Just because we can. And don't worry about me bouncing around. That's what shields are for, right? Excellent. So now we're going to take all of our loot back into the home base. And we're going to see what we want to do next. Talon24 says, like Diablo 2 or like Diablo 3? I mean, the itemization alone. So I think that it would call back to both of those games. Will there be an option to forge or combine upgrade parts to get better ranked items? We're absolutely looking into that. We do have a lot of craftable items, so there's probably going to be something like that that we'll talk about in the future when it's ready. So just keep the course, and we'll tell you what we've got cooking up in the background at some point. I do like it. Will there be legendary loot? Oh, yeah. Of course. Of course. What do the different color damages mean? Prime Lord, can you be more specific? How about EVERSPACE on Google Stadia? That's, okay. We may or may not have more information about that in the future. I know that we've been looking at a lot of different opportunities to expand to as many different audiences as possible. We'll have to check in on that as needed for where we're at as a company, and also making sure that we are reaching our audience. So it's a possibility, but I can't guarantee anything. Are buy-sell prices consistent throughout the game? Another excellent question. Surf, you're awesome. Thank you for the question. So we are looking at a lot of different ways to do our economy in the game. We know that some people are incredibly passionate about in-game economies. And as such, we want to take great care in crafting that so that it can be about the best it can possibly be. As such, we've seen various games do static economies pretty well, but then you can also exploit them pretty extremely if you know that one specific route where you can make an absurd amount of money on something that's kind of irrelevant to the game. But also, we've seen dynamic economies do really good jobs to boot, but sometimes it can feel like an absolute pain in the butt when all your price points and everything tend to get flattened in those dynamic economies to where it's really hard to profit at all. So we're really looking for a nice, finely tuned balance so that you'll get the best bang for your buck, especially if you want to go more of that trader route and bulking around loads of goods. So basically what I said is, we'll see about what happens to the economy as development goes through, and we'll very likely be asking for your guys' feedback and how you feel that it's progressing whenever we get to the alpha, the beta, and the early access elements just next year. So great question. The floating, the damage, and XP numbers is annoying. It has an option to be disabled in the settings. It doesn't in this demo, but in the full game, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, we know that some people don't like it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. Will there be a way to buff or do add-ons to weapons? Very, very likely, but we're looking into a lot of different ways that we can utilize equipment as a whole in the game. Just to give you kind of an example, any time in any looting style game, if there is the possibility to be at a point where the stuff you find just sucks, we don't want it to be where it's like you find that stuff and you're just like, wow, this sucks. I can't do anything with it. It would be really nice if you would be able to take anything that you found and profit from it, even if it's a slight amount. So we are looking at different ways to benefit both items that you have held on for a long time, as well as new items that have diminishing effects or something that could be better, to see how we can navigate that space so you can profit from it the most. You guys are asking great questions. And for anybody who's looking to see more gameplay, just one moment. I'm going to answer just a couple more questions. We'll dive right back in, I promise you. For those who are just joining us on any of the channels, my name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games. I'm doing a Q&A for you guys. Ask me anything at all. We are helping you guys understand what EVERSPACE 2 is all about during our Kickstarter. We have 3 days left. If you want to support this game, now is the time to just do so, because the doors are going to close, and then basically all you're going to be able to do is buy the game when it's ready. You're not going to be able to put your mark into that experience. If you want to fund us and help us through development, you have 3 days left. Only gripe is the tracer visual. Oh man, visuals and sound design. Oh man, yeah. So for the Gatling gun, that's already changed. Yeah, so yeah, no worries. We have a lot of space to improve elements, especially regarding the visuals and the sound design. I know some people are looking at this already like, wait, what? This is a prototype? Yes, this is a prototype, and we're going to be making the visuals even better from here. There's a lot of work that we're pouring in. Our 3D artists and sound design team, they're insane. They're brilliant. We're looking out for you, and I know that we are going to be able to craft something truly incredible through this because you guys provide the best feedback forever. You guys helped make EVERSPACE 1 so much of a better game. That's why we're doing this route with EVERSPACE 2. We're not changing it. We are doing it just like this. So yes, we will definitely make sure that we get everything where it needs to be. Blunderbuss. Oh my goodness, that's an idea. Yeah, there are going to be special attributes to items that will give it some sort of special effect or option. So that could actually be one of them. We're just pretending here. I'm not revealing any new content at all in this. But like you could have, say, a scattergun that whenever it strikes your target and you get a critical hit, it shoots out another scattergun from that target to all nearby targets. You know, something like that. And then if that gets a critical hit, then it shoots by to other ones, and it's like just like the splash scattergun effect, maybe. Like we could get really crazy with some of the effects for legendary items or exotic weapons and stuff like that, to give you some really powerful synergized effects. Like say if you were using all of the same pieces from the same industrialized workforce on your modules, you would gain some sort of benefit like that. Maybe even something akin to like the ship sets that you would see, like the style sets in Diablo. There's a lot of ways that we can diversify how you are customizing and maximizing your desires throughout the game. And that's just the itemization alone. That is outside of the ship customization, which we already talked about, and customizing it to your liking here. And then that's also outside of being able to customize your character himself as he levels up over time. Because leveling is alive and well in the EVERSPACE 2 experience. Right now we're level 2. In the demo, I can't really do much with that because again, it's not available in this version. But there are going to be a lot of different ways. You're going to be mix and matching different attributes, different effects, and pummeling your opponents in the way that you would like. A creative mode. Ooh, I like that. I'm certain that whenever the campaign is completed, you'll have all the space in the world to go wherever, do whatever you please. I know that for a fact. Does your engine feature RTX? I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. If somebody else on the team could confirm that for me. That was from Excelsior in YouTube. Thank you for that question. A great question. I want to make sure you're answered. I'm not 100% sure. I know that we have made the game in Unreal Engine 4, and we're using blueprints to bring it all together. We've got some pretty incredible developers on the team, and they bring it to life pretty well. RTX is in the pipeline, says Jim Law. Thank you. You're a rock star. I appreciate that. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to showcase some more gameplay, then we're going to dive into more questions in a little bit. Keep asking your questions. I know that there are people in chat who are being super awesome rock stars. Thank you to you guys out there. Really appreciate and love this community. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our inventory, and what we're going to take some elements from this ship that we collected. We'll keep some of the stuff there, but we really want, I think what we want to do is take all this other stuff that we've gathered, and now we are going to swap over to the Interceptor and put some of this stuff here so we can take it out, go sell it for credits, stuff like that. Perfect. So the Interceptor is actually a returning ship from EVERSPACE 1, but it looks a bit different. That's because it's not exactly the same ship that you had in EVERSPACE 1. I'm not going to go into story spoilers, but this is a brand new ship that just simply is identified as an Interceptor and probably has some new tricks up its sleeve. For starters, it now has the weapon overdrive, energize boost, and teleporter on it to start. So we're going to go ahead and launch this guy right out into space. And we're going to travel into this open world that we keep talking about. So that planet's going to get a whole lot bigger. Whoop, a little too close there. And let's actually go head over to the sun. So as you can see, we're in complete control of flying around here, but that planet's getting a lot smaller. And that star is getting closer. On our map, you can see this is now our current location in this entire area, which we have the freedom to roam. You can fly anywhere, do anything, go to any of these particular points that are available in the demo right here. Otherwise, you would be able to go to all of these not available locations to boot. Now, there are other things that can happen as you're flying from destination to destination. We'll probably have one of those things occur, either an unknown signal or an interdiction. But there's a lot that can happen. So if you don't like waiting around, by the way, if you just want to get to where you're going, we have that option as well. We have autopilot enabled right now, and then we can also immediately skip to that location and avoid any types of interdictions or unknown signals to our pleasure. Now, granted, if you do miss your opportunities for unknown signals, then you may be potentially losing out on loot. So definitely play the way that you would like to play. I'm going to go ahead and skip and get to this star right now. So here we are, right up close and personal. You'll see on the map we are right next to it. Woo! A bit toasty. And we've got this scientist who is now asking us to do a little bit of a research mission for him. And hey, we're here. We got time. Why not? So we're going to just see what he has to exchange, and we will keep going through. Foregone Gaming says, "Oi, that looks nice." Hey, Foregone Gaming, I think that you're actually a backer of EVERSPACE 1. I think I recently approved you on Discord, so thank you for your support. Very much appreciated. Will the ship icon move on the map while flying? Yes, it will. Yeah, we're still tweaking subtleties with the UI and a lot of those details. Even the UI that you see right here before you, we've got the 2 bars on the left and the 3 bars on the right. 2 bars on the left, 3 bars on the right. Webcam's reversed, okay? Just bear with me. But the 2 bars on the left, those are your boosters and your ammo. And boosters are cyan, ammo's white. And then on your right side, you have your hull, which is red, your armor, which is orange, and your shields, which are blue. I want to stress this again. This is right now a work in progress setup for the UI. We are going to probably change this again. It's already changed a number of times. We just want to make it as clean and as simple and straightforward as possible for you guys. I'm sure we're going to work with you. I'm sure we'll hear plenty of feedback and criticism about what we do, and it'll be fantastic. All right, so the scientist has now asked us to go find these solar panels, which we need to align, and that's what we're going to do. So first, we're going to head over to this one. And it's facing the wrong direction, so we're just going to say, hey, go look at the sun. Excellent. Just need to do that 2 more times. Let's head over here. Actually, I'm distracted. Let's go look at this base. I'm seeing some stuff. Looks like it's destroyed, but there's a little cavity over here. Maybe there's some loot? Hey, alright. A fancy coil gun and a shield ST. Also some freight containers, which we could lug around, maybe use as a shield in combat. They are really hard to control, however. We're actually not strong enough for this thing. Maybe we would need a heavier ship or something. So we're just going to chuck it over there for now. See you later, container. See what this solar panel's all about. Actually, first, let's equip some new stuff. We got this coil gun. So here are some of the advanced modifiers. This is a rare coil gun that has a 10% chance of kinetic damage completely bypassing the shield. 10% increased damage against armor. That's really beneficial in combination. And 5% chance to disable the target's shield for 2 seconds with each hit. My goodness. We have not balanced these. Some of these attributes you're going to see are incredibly overpowered, just the way we like it for now. We're also going to put on this superior shield that adds repair and utility and a very large amount of capacity, though the recharge duration of our shield is going to take longer now just because this particular shield has that deficit. So you will have to decide between which shield option you want, which weapon option you want. It's not just straight up, oh, you found a new weapon, it's inherently better than your last one. Doesn't work like that. You're going to have to make some pretty quick decisions based on where you're at, what you're doing, and even to your play style to best yourself for the situation. Let's go ahead and activate this solar panel as well, and then let's get distracted again, because there's a lot of stuff to do out here in space. So here we have an uphill slope. We're going to go ahead and activate this. And as you can see, there's also some other little mini-game challenges that you'll be able to encounter and find throughout the game space of EVERSPACE 2. This is a really, really basic version of a time test speedrun sort of thing. But I'm pretty confident there'll probably be racetracks, maybe some NPCs you have to fly against, maybe even death races, where it's all guns blazing, having to take first place or die. But we'll see in the future. We've got one more site to activate, and then we'll be looking at how this mission wraps up. We'll go to a base, and we'll answer some more questions, because I know you guys are wanting so many questions answered. Alright, so this looks a little dangerous to me, so we're just going to get a little close, turn the solar panel online, and fly towards this base. So we've completed our challenge, we're telling them that we're done, and now we're wondering about our paycheck, and spoiler, the scientist says, nah, we don't like this star, it's garbage, so we're just going to pay you what we pay experiments, essentially. Thanks for being our lab rat, here's 80 credits. Really? These punks. I am absolutely certain that I want to deal with them, but that's probably not going to happen until later. Going to grab this site here where we have a little bit of wreckage. Look at this power core that's just floating out in space, and we're going to take it back to the slot that it probably belongs in, right here. Ka-chunk, and hey, now we have access to some more goods. There's going to be a lot of little interactables that are going to have different ways that you can accomplish a task with, including but not limited to various puzzles in open space as well. Much like you've already seen us doing a little bit. Whoop, can't go that way. Beautiful. So let's head to this mining station. We're going to park it. We're going to sell some stuff, maybe buy some stuff. We're going to answer some of your questions. Now, we also used a couple missiles, I think. No, I'm completely wrong. Never mind. We didn't use any missiles at all. So let's go ahead and see what we can exchange. Ooh. You know what? I like this sensor. So we're just going to buy and equip so we don't even have to worry about it going to our cargo. Let's see what else we want to do. Let's go ahead and start selling some of these items that we don't necessarily want. That autocannon's not too bad, actually. Yeah, let's go ahead and replace that as well. Get rid of that shield, coil gun, iron. Now, a lot of these elements... Oh, I should have kept that one. Let's actually go buy it back. So sometimes you might sell something that you didn't mean to sell. You can buy it back for the exact same amount of cost. Obviously, our price points are not where they are. That's all going to get fine-tuned later. But you'll have that ability fairly easily. Perfect. Now we got about 3,000 credits-ish. And a nice ship bonuses to boot. Ooh, a sticky turret. I always love these. So let's go ahead and change this out and just... Let's just buy all of these. Perfect. And let's just sell these boosters. That's fine. Who needs boosters? Alright, any more stuff? Kinetic plating's better. We'll just buy and sell it. Done and done. That seems good. Excellent. Let's hang out right here and we'll answer some question. Modular weapon hardpoint's a possibility, like an elite dangerous. So as of right now, we are just utilizing a modular system pertaining to the ships. Pertaining to the weapons, a lot of the itemization itself, like the statistical differences, are going to add your veritability, making them very, very different from one another. You could find two pulse lasers that are wildly different, for example. It's not going to be something where you're taking different parts of a weapon itself and putting that all together, if that makes sense. Love the new soundtrack. Great to hear. Is this running externally or within the Unreal Engine editor? It is running externally. This particular version is running externally, but we do use the Unreal Engine editor a lot for whenever we are doing testing, of course. Oh man, I'm loving all you folks diving in, answering questions. Geekbite, you're being awesome. Thank you so much for your help. Game is so sick. I love that. Thank you for your job. Oh, goodness gravy. Thank you for your support and the kind words. My goodness. It's appreciated. Private backer demo or dev build or something? Yeah, so I'm a developer for Rockfish Games. I'm the community ambassador for you guys, and I am showing the demo that's actually available at all of the major conventions that we go to. So currently right now at EGX, for example, this demo is available for playing. If you head out there, you can get in on this action. So otherwise, this demo will also be exclusively given to all of those Kickstarter backers who back us at the standard tier or higher. You'll just get it for free. We just dump it on you, no big deal, so that you can have something to play around with before we open up the doors for the alpha next year. The demo, everything that you see here, guys, like all of the item, all of the equipment, all of the itemization, all of the worlds and everything, you're seeing like less than 5% of a completed game here. Okay? This is very easily less than 5%. So if this looks alluring at all, you ain't seen nothing yet. Alright? You ain't seen nothing. And if you haven't seen the vlogs, you need to get on that as well. We will be covering the new one that dropped today, as well as highlighting our update on Kickstarter in a little bit of time. So stick around. We'll cover all of that stuff together, and it'll be a good time. Was there a decision behind the reach goal or refund strategy on Kickstarter rather than make the best out of the money that has been put on? Asked Talon24. So there's always a decision to any sort of strategy that we're trying to push ourselves towards. And we absolutely dive into the risk-reward system. You can't make something amazing without taking risks to do so. And that's exactly what our Kickstarter has been for us. And it's an all-or-nothing status, which means if you support us through the Kickstarter and the Kickstarter doesn't make it, you don't have any money lost. We don't pull any money out of you. It just sucks for us. We don't get that funding. Well, damn. That doesn't mean we're not going to make EVERSPACE 2. We're still going to make it a reality, but without that extra funding, we're going to have to cut some corners and shave some details off. But if you do support us on Kickstarter, and we do make the Kickstarter, which is looking to be pretty likely, I think, then we will withdraw the money that you are supporting us with at the conclusion of the Kickstarter, only at the conclusion of it, and then we'll move forward from there. So again, your contributions are only accepted at the end of the Kickstarter if it's reached its funding goal. So you lose absolutely nothing if we don't make our Kickstarter. I know there's a lot of people concerned. There you go. Don't be concerned. We will find a way to bring this all to life, everybody. Do you have a time range for when backer demos get it? This is another really good question from Surf over on Twitch. We will be distributing the demo to all the Kickstarter backers at that respective tier fairly quickly after the Kickstarter, is to my understanding. I know that there were a couple things that we wanted to just like tweak and make a little bit better. So you'd actually get a updated version of the demo. It's nothing crazy. It's not like you're getting another 5% of the game. That would be absurd. But we're going to fix some little issues and maybe help it run on more computers that are out there. As it is, the prototype that you see here, it's not incredibly well optimized. Like we have to navigate that space in order to get it running at conventions, but we know that people want to, we know that you want to play it, and so we'll probably look into different varied option settings as well so that you can tweak that a little bit more in order to get it running and all of that. Perfect. Are you completely eliminating roguelike elements this time around? What a great question from YouTube. So, as the genre, we are. Yes, it is now an arcadey space shooter in an open world RPG setting. However, I am positive, and I'm speaking as a roguelike enthusiast myself, I am positive there are going to be fantastic challenges and elements that scratch that itch for those of you who desire procedural generation challenges and whatnot. I mean, it's a looter shooter. If you don't have a little bit of random, what's the fun in it? So yeah, we'll have more to talk about regarding those specific details later in development. But rest assured, if you're a roguelike enthusiast and that's all you wanted in EVERSPACE 2, it's a big change here. But you'll probably get that itch scratched at some point or another. Ooh! Everyone's favorite part of the stream where I crack my neck. Ah! Great. Just pledged. Hey, thank you so much for Spartling. Really appreciate the support. Looking forward to seeing this game become a reality. So are we. But honestly, we are really looking forward to make this game along with your specific support, with everybody's support who has been diving out there and providing that financial assistance, as well as your ideas, your suggestions, your revisions, your fan art. All of that stuff is huge to this community. Even if you can't contribute financially and you just go out and tell people about us because you think it's really cool that maybe a friend would like, that's amazing. So thank you. You guys are the ones who are making this happen. It's awesome. It's so awesome. So seriously, major props to you. Really appreciate it. Let's make a great game together. Yeah? Seems like a fun time to me. Can you share some funny stories from the developing phase? Oh my goodness. I could. There's one from yesterday, in fact. Andy, if you're watching, you jerk, I found out. It's Marco who designed a, he's a 3D designer. He designed a pumpkin scare for our Halloween stream that was 2 days ago, and didn't tell me that they snuck it into the code. And, Andy was the one who enabled it to happen, so as I'm flying through the tutorial, they made a little jump scare for me with a pumpkin that pops out with an absurd amount of volume increase. Oh my gosh. That's just a little bit of piece of the pie. So we like to play games and pranks on one another. In fact, we even do that a little bit in the vlog that we revealed today. If any of you were watching when Uva was speaking, there may have been some things happening in the background. But we'll talk more about all those little things. I'm sure some folks are like, I want to see more gameplay. Get into this gameplay. All right, let's get back into the gameplay. We'll answer some more questions here in a little bit. It'll be good. So next thing I want to show before we go into our Rockfish recap section. I want to show you kind of what a mini boss would look like. Just a little mini boss. Nothing crazy. Nothing fancy. Just an idea about what type of dangers await you as you are navigating all of this area. In this space, by the way, like, oh, here's an unknown signal. We're gonna go to that real quick. Maybe there's something here, maybe there's not. I don't know. This is kind of a randomized location. Could be something great, could be something that sucks. What do we got? Oh, we got some freighters who are under attack. So we'll go ahead and just assist them very briefly, maybe score some extra credits. Oh, they think they're clear. Thanks for the help. You're welcome. I did all the work. They know who to thank. That's right. Get wrecked, outlaws. We'll just keep going. Don't you worry about it. It's a prototype, okay? Anyone who's out there's judging. There's some things we still tweaking. There's a lot of work ahead of us. But it's all fun. Alright, let's go ahead and get through this interception because I don't want to deal with what's behind this attack. Sometimes, some people are like, well, why would you want to avoid an interception? It just means more sweet loot. Now, there are going to be cases where you may or may not be running from a faction or a group of people, and if you get intercepted, it's not like it's going to be a couple of dudes that you can just pot shot from a distance. It might be some really serious challenges that are going to completely screw you over if you don't escape from. Alright, so now we are near this planet right here. That moon, this star. And we've got another station over here. And we have this unavailable warp gate that we're just going to go look at. We'll just go look at it. See a lot of interactables going on there. G&B are fighting some outlaws. Let's teleport a little bit closer here. And here we have an opponent that is a bit beefier, a bit larger than what we would normally uncover. First, we're going to take away some of his enemy types. This is a destroyer. And here you can see some defensive turrets. Whenever I blast it down, it actually hides into the ship itself. So I can no longer damage that turret and destroy it outright, unless maybe I fired a very powerful weapon and took it out in one hit. But it's going to repair and then it's going to pop back out. So maybe our strategy isn't going for all those turrets. Instead, it's just doing a sheer amount of damage. So as we do that, these sides open up to become orange, and we do serious crazy damage to this weak point and take the entire guy out. Just like that. Beautiful. And now, of course, we take all the loot. I don't really want to deal with these enemies, so I'm going to launch a sticky turret to do it for me. So now we have a turret on place that asteroid. He's going to help us out. Ugh. Drone, go away. Perfect. Take some more iron, and we're going to call that good. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump into our next section where we're going to recap some of the things that we've kind of talked about through the course of the week. I know some of you have yet to see some of this information, so it's going to be a fun time looking at it for the first time. Yeah. So we're going to transition to that right now. And if any of you guys are new to the stream, this is something we frequently do whenever we are navigating this game space. In these streams, we're answering questions, we're just talking about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and giving you some behind-the-scenes look. It's a lot of fun for us, and we hope that you're having a blast with it too. All right. So here we are. We are at $402,094 US dollars out of $502,447 US dollars. That is 80% funded, and we have 3 days left. It is getting really tight, really close. I'm not too worried. I hope you guys aren't too worried either. But if you are, just keep telling your friends about us. it's good time. Like I said earlier in the stream, it's all about taking those high risks to make some really awesome things happen. And we wouldn't even exist as a company if it wasn't for that in the first place. In fact, we're going to go into a very brief story time where my boss, Michael, actually was removed from his workplace environment because he refused to go to a free-to-play model in the mobile gaming industry. Because of his refusal, he not only lost his job, his studio, but also the IP of Galaxy on Fire that he worked at. And from those ashes, he used his own money, his own finances, put together a team based out of that old working team he had, handpicked them, cherry-picked them, and then did a crowdfunding campaign to create EVERSPACE on the PC and console market. Said goodbye to mobile. We don't want to do that. Wanted to do premium model. And because of the Kickstarter support there, and also through the feedback and everything else that came with it, we were able to make EVERSPACE 1 happen as well as exist as Rockfish Games at all. And that's how we're moving forward. We do not do any microtransactions. That is not the way that we design our games. We also don't do any sort of exclusivity things. A lot of people have been like really curious about like saying, oh, well, you know, we use Unreal Engine 4. We're on Kickstarter. That means we're going to get bought out by Epic. Look, I want to tell you what right now. Like, we are really good partners with Epic, and we're also really good partners with Valve. An exclusivity deal would be stepping on somebody's toes. We're not going to do that route. We're doing exactly what we did with EVERSPACE 1. We're navigating the game space with an early access launch on Steam so people can get involved, get invested, help us make a great game, and we're moving forward from there. So down the line, it'll probably be on the Epic Game Store. That's fine, no problems. We just don't want to do any exclusivity. So we're not crapping on anybody. It's just not the direction we want to take our game place, and it's also not the direction we want to take the community. It's as simple as that. So perfect. So let's talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter update, talk a little bit more about the vlog that we revealed today, and it'll be a great time. Best escort pilot 10 out of 10 would rent again. Oh my gosh, Tal. You are great. Best day of my gaming life when Michael and team became Rockfish Games. Wow, Jim Law. Boom. That is crazy. Michael, codename Phoenix. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's look at this update. We have update number 10, Open Game World Planetary Combat Tutorial Mission. Can this go away? Can I move this at all? Here, let's just make it a little bit smaller. All right. Boom. Open Game World Planetary Combat Tutorial Mission. We actually showed the tutorial mission earlier in the stream. And we are probably going to show it maybe one more time at the end of the stream in case you missed it because you're silly and you got here late. That's fine. We'll still show it. It's fine. So, final push of the Kickstarter campaign. 78% funding. It's gone a little bit up since this post, which was not that long ago. We are slowly climbing up. So thank you for all of the financial support you guys are investing in us. I can assure you we are going to be taking that and pushing what we're trying to accomplish to the best level it can possibly be through not only your financial support, but also from the community that you share with us and all the feedback and the criticism that comes with it. So thank you. All right, so we've got a couple gameplay GIFs that we're going to be showing off. This one's already been revealed. This is a planetary side GIF. So a lot of people are asking, well, can you land on planets? The answer is actually no. You can't land on it. There's no EVA. You're not getting out of your vehicle. You're not driving around in some sort of land thing. Like, think, for all intents and purposes, your character is the ship itself. You're customizing yourself. You're giving yourself way new abilities. You're, like, doing all of that stuff through the course of this game. That is who you are. And so you're never leaving yourself. Yes, it makes sense. Trust me, okay? You're always in the ship. And you'll be able to venture out and around many different locations because of this. So we also had Obsidian Ant, shout out to Obsidian Ant, a great space game enthusiast who likes to talk a lot about anything sci-fi in space. Definitely check him out if you have the time. He did a nice little video recap for EVERSPACE 2 coming out in the future. You can watch that through this. So let's see. We've got more words on the screen. Let's get past this. Veteran pilots pushing real hard to successfully finish Kickstarter for a much bigger sequel for the original EVERSPACE, blah, 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 blah. words. I'm not going to read this to you verbatim. I know that you're intelligent. I know that you can do this yourself. So I'm not gonna hold your hand. You're not babies. It's great. So recurring backers to our game, eligible veteran backers from our previous campaign will be able to unlock an exclusive playable playership decal via Steam in the full version of EVERSPACE 2. So what that means is that if you backed us, if you supported us from EVERSPACE 1, if you were a Kickstarter backer, there's like, I can't remember how many of you are out there. It's like 10,000? Is that right? Man, I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know. If you also back EVERSPACE 2, you're going to have a very exclusive decal that you can apply to your ship. It's not this one, but here you can see the decal for Co-Carnage, popular streamer and big supporter of us. We actually plugged him into the game just because we felt like it, because he's contributed a lot, and that's what we do for our community. You contribute a lot, you're implemented into the game in some capacity. That's how it works. That's how it works. So let's keep going. So here we have the final vlog for the Kickstarter campaign. We're going to pop this open. We're going to watch it together. And you guys can see a little bit more about what we're doing with the open game world and the environment thereof. What a pretty picture.
Final vlog.
Helps if we have
Hey there, pilots. Welcome to the final vlog before the end of our Kickstarter. We are now over 75% funded, which is the minimum of where we hope to be at for the final push. The 48-hour notification on Kickstarter will kick in tomorrow at midnight CET, so we will hit the weekend prime time in North America and also cover the entire Monday in Europe when people check emails at work, right? Okay, so much for the final tactics. Now let's talk about the open world design and environments in EVERSPACE 2, shall we?
Yes.
The world of EVERSPACE 2 will be much bigger than the one of EVERSPACE 1. This time, players will be free to travel an open world at their own pace and leisure. The game will once again take place in Cluster 34, although a much larger version of it. There'll be at least 8 star systems, each with their own visual identity. Prepare to encounter various factions and races, bizarre celestial formations, strange natural hazards, gigantic cloud formations and vast asteroid belts. Each system will have a number of handcrafted locations you can visit. Unlike EVERSPACE 1, these won't be procedurally generated. We are now in full control and can design them in a way that makes them always meaningful and interesting to explore. Besides space stations with job boards, shipyards and trading hubs, there will also be many hidden secrets to uncover and side activities to take part in. While most locations are in open space, some will be on planetary surfaces. Although you won't be able to get out of your ship, there will be near-surface combat. You will also be able to land on stations and fly inside huge interior areas, like caves or vaults.
Locations can be left at any time using your ship's jump drive, allowing you to travel between them in superlight mode. By traversing a system, you might pick up unknown signals or get intercepted. In both cases, you will enter locations that are much like the ones you know from EVERSPACE 1. While some of these will be fixed and distributed across all systems, others will be randomly created from scratch. Exploring these will always be worth your while. A system is divided into several regions that not only look and feel different, but also have certain threat levels and spawn probabilities for NPCs and resources attached to them. This allows us to keep things interesting, control player progression, and also create trade routes for mineable resources that can only be found in certain areas.
Impressed? I absolutely was when I saw all the sweet new footage from our team. Now it's on you guys to get us over that finish line. We can do this. I believe in you. So I'm making an appointment with my local barber on Monday because this beard is coming off. Alright, have an awesome weekend and see you next week.
Bye-bye, Michael. Beard. Excellent. So, yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We're still doing a lot of things. It's good stuff. Alright, so we also had a rerun stream of myself. That's kind of weird to talk about in some capacity, I'm not sure why. But we showed the tutorial mission there, as well again during this stream at the very beginning. We popped right in there. Maybe I wasn't supposed to, but I did it, damn it. That's how I work. I like to deliver the things to you, all right? That's how we do things around here. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. All right, so we are streaming again right now, obviously. That's the big update that we dropped this week pertaining to all the environmental things. A lot of people got to see this cloud area, very massive site. I can't remember where it's at now. Is it even here? It's not even here. Dang it! I need to find this real quick. Maybe was it posted in the gameplay? I know somebody was having fun changing the colors of it. Hang on. Who was doing that? Where is that located? There are too many sites in here to look at. You guys are crazy. I know we're getting closer. Yes, I'm scrolling through Discord on the live stream. Yes, thank you very much. If you'd like to join this Discord, this crazy community, feel free. Go to discord.gg/rockfishgames. This is a great place to have conversation, get harassed by us, as well as just have generally a good time. Why can't I find this imagery? Oh my gosh. Can somebody just post it? Can somebody... somebody out there just post the image? That'd be great. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, thanks, Tulameo. Perfect. So we had this image. This one right here. This one was revealed. Even though this one's been color corrected, just a fan art color change, color swap, where you just have these massive clouds swept over the entire environment, and you're flying your ship through it in these vessels. What are those ships? Is that a big station? What is this? This is concept art again, but we are going to be having a lot of fun being able to bring this to life, to realize this through your support, through your dedication. It's gonna be a lot of fun. See what we can do in all of this game space. All right, so that's the big pieces of this week. We've had a really enjoyable time. We've been able to see a lot of new stuff, a lot of new content, and I know that. As a matter of fact, I know that we're going to be continuing to do these streams. These streams aren't just for the Kickstarter alone. I know that we want to continue doing them for you guys to have those conversations. I don't know if we're going to be doing them twice a week anymore. It might just become a once a week thing, just because we don't want to overwhelm you with information. I don't think anybody would want that. But we'll still have that means to answer live questions and show new content as frequently as we humanly can without revealing too much. Otherwise, definitely jump in on that Discord where we will have a lot of good times together, I'm sure of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive right back into EVERSPACE 2 and continue where we left off, showcasing more of the missions and general gameplay while answering your questions. It'll be solid. And I know that we'll also wrap things up a little bit earlier today so that we can then open the door for a lot more questions, because we're getting a lot of questions from a lot of different sites, and you guys have been great. You guys have been crazy good today, so I really appreciate that. All the love. Oh my gosh. It's awesome. And if you guys want, we'll showcase the tutorial mission one more time. We'll see. We'll see where things lie. It's pinned in height. Oh my gosh, it was pinned. Oh my goodness. So who's the community ambassador of this team? They should probably know those details. All right. Will there be lush planetary surfaces? Oh man, Jackson, that's a great question. That requires a lot of detail work and possibly a lot of physics as well. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I know that there are also other details, a lot of content in the game that we are going to be focused on that take precedence over that. I think that it would be really cool, but I can't make any guarantees to that, just with how that would pull us away from other tasks at hand. But rest assured, the team is definitely thinking about those types of things, how we can make each environment incredibly unique, feel really dynamic, and just be able to interact with in a space where it doesn't feel like it's just copy pasta. Oh, it's a blue planet. Oh, it's a red planet. We absolutely don't want that effect. So we'll see what happens through time. A great question. An Absolutely great question. Will there be any form of weapons of mass destruction possibly? Well, the answer to that is possibly. So I know in EVERSPACE 1 we had the ARC 9000. The ARC 9000, for those of you who don't know, was this massive energy ball that slowly moved forward, and anything that was nearby, it was just electrified and destroyed, essentially. And then whatever that massive energy ball collided with, it dealt a tremendous amount of damage, of course. And it was considered to be a pretty substantial mass destruction item, especially whenever you're taking on, I don't know, 20 fighters and 2 corvettes and a frigate or so. You could wipe almost all of it out in one shot. Granted, the frigate's going to need you to take down a couple more components, but I digress. I am certain that we will be making sure you will have a lot of options to do a lot of different things, including some serious damage to your opponents. Of course, we also want to balance all of the mechanics around how these interactions work. So it's not like we're just going to hand you a nuke blaster that you just fire a nuke off every half a second and you can destroy planets with it. That would probably be on the absurd side of things, is my guess. But yeah, we'll definitely have tools that you can have a lot of fun with, get crazy, and even some stuff that is going to be really clever and very particular in how it operates. But more information on that in the future. I know it's becoming my trademark line, but we have a very delicate process of how we reveal things at Rockfish Games. So while we want to be as transparent as possible, we also don't want to spoil things for you. So when we are ready to show new content, we will absolutely drop that for you. It'll be good. ARC 9000 Mark II. I was thinking ARC 9001 because then it's over 9000. But no, that works. That'll work too. Multiple biomes on planets. That's a good question. We'll see. We'll see. I like your thinking. All right, so let's get back into this. I know that we had this base over here. We're going to stop by it. The manager's probably going to ask us to do something, is my guess. I've never played this before. All right, so he's looking for a cheap mechanic. We need to repair something on his base. We say, you know what, we can do it. It's fine. He's like, you? All right, fine. Just go ahead and do it. Shouldn't take very long. That's right. It shouldn't. And it probably won't. Oh yeah, I can skip this. Excuse me. Perfect. So let's go ahead and see what we can sell real briefly. Oh, we got more nanobots? Just stack them. Perfect. I thought we had a cargo unit for some reason, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and pick that up. And, ooh, better thrusters. I'll take them. So it's really nice. What you can actually see here, like a comparison of the cargo unit itself. We have a plus 34 handling change on a cargo unit. So the cargo unit isn't just this boring thing that you only manage one thing, which is the amount of cargo you hold. You can have some pretty crazy modifiers even on this module as well. So it could be something where this cargo unit was manufactured by a specific company that is going to give you a very crazy benefit if you use it with armor from that same company, for example. Maybe they will synergize and give you absurd whatevers, right? So each one of these pieces, while it does serve one specific role, they can expand and do many other roles based on what it rolls as well as how you're using it. Plutonian fluid, yep. All right, so let's go ahead and go fix this this base. Excuse me. So we're just gonna take care of this leak. Perfect. We have this outlaw madcap who shows up, and we discover that there's actually an outlaw madcap problem with the base. Apparently these guys fly around the base and steal the bandwidth. Oh my gosh. Wi-Fi thieves. Man, it's just cruelty. Who does that? Who does that? So, like any good person would do, we're going to go talk to them. And by talk to them, I mean destroy their ships, so that they will probably asphyxiate and die if they don't burn to death inside of their ships first. That's how we handle Wi-Fi thieves, okay? Don't question it. That's what we do around here. This is the demilitarized zone. Those of you who don't know the lore of Everspace in this world, it's a rough and tough one. Let's take out this madcap. Beautiful. And his escape pod, he can't even do anything. We got some really nice tools on our base at this point. We also have some more things here. You know, these freight containers. That's what they're called. We have more freight containers here. We could actually procure some of those from the space if we wanted to. Maybe we could lug it away and try and sell it for a profit somewhere else. I'm pretty sure the base wouldn't like us for doing that, but you'll have certain interactions with bases and larger vessels and the various factions that you encounter that could absolutely tick them off or make them new friends to you in the process. My goodness. Unreal Turna Man. That's man over on Twitch. You were in another stream. Welcome back, sir. If you die, will you spawn at Cedo home base, or are there other locations in other star systems too? This is a fantastic question. I want to be very thorough in the response to this. As a looter shooter, we have a saving system that will allow you to pick up right where you leave off, kind of where you left off from. Now, it's not fully implemented in this demonstration here, but what that looks like is, actually, think of it like this, all right? In a game where you are collecting randomized loot, we don't want to yoink those valuables that you found away from you, right? We don't want to do that to you. That would be rude. It would suck, you know? You get this legendary drop, and then you fly in, you pick it up, and then 5 seconds later, boom, you're done for. That randomized drop, you can't get it back because it's gone from the loot table. It's gone from rolling for you. See you later. No, that sucks too much. What we are looking at is the ability to basically transfer over your inventory upon death. So even though halfway through a mission you died, you would actually still keep some of the stuff you found in the mission as you respawn so that you can keep moving forward. That way, you're not losing the progress that you made, but you do have to do the mission over again if you want to move that mission forward. Stuff like that. We're taking those elements into consideration, and really for the best of the player experience out there. Now, I'm saying all of this. These are not things that are locked in place. I want to be very clear. A lot of this is out there, work in progress, but rest assured, we're looking out for you. We're not going to take away your stuff. That's not fun for anybody. It's not fun for us. It's not fun for you. We're looking out for the loot that you find. So that's the way that we're going to be moving forward and addressing how death works. You are not going to have, like, if you're way off in whatever the name and convention of this is, perilous? Is it actually perilous? I wonder who on the team came up with that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you're out in perilous and you die, no, you're not going to have to spawn all the way back from your home base and travel all the way back out there again. That's just dirty. That is just dirty. So there's my very elaborate response for you and kind of an understanding as to why. Don't you worry, we're taking care of you. Hello from Germany. Hey, hello from Kansas. Ironically, our team is also in Germany, from Hamburg, Germany. As the American community ambassador, though, I situated elsewhere. Rest assured, I'm on the development team. I do a lot of work with the team, do a lot of reviewing, a lot of editing, and obviously I'm working a lot for you guys doing these streams, for example. So, yeah, welcome. Hello. It's great to have you here. I need to work on my German so I can understand what you guys are saying. American Community Giraffe. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let's keep playing. So let's fix some more leaks that occurred on this base since our little combat sequence. Now you might notice that every time we stop, we're getting a little overdrive feature, and you might be thinking, why in the world is that happening? That's actually a benefit to one of the items that we have. I think it's on this one. No, it's not. What is giving us that ability? Oh yeah! Our thrusters are actually giving us that ability. Our weapon damage increases by 20% just when we're standing still. Isn't that awesome? A lot of different little abilities like that you're going to be able to find randomly associated with the items that you get. And maybe there will be ways to customize them to your liking on the items that you prefer. Maybe. Alright, so now we fixed all those leaks. We're telling this guy 1.2k credits. That's how much I deserve for all of that hard work, taking care of your problems, fixing everything, taking out the guy stealing your bandwidth. And he's like, dang, I think I'm coming down with plutonium flu, and he delivers. So, nice. Let's go check out this broken drone. Will the first trophy be called Welcome to EVERSPACE when you die? Probably not. It'll probably be called Welcome to EVERSPACE 2. I'm just messing with you. We're going to figure out the achievements through time. I'm sure we'll get creative. I'm sure that we'll have a lot of fun whenever we work through those. But, yeah, it's good. Alright, let's go take out this broken drone. Oh, a repost! Let's answer this question first. Regarding the Planetary, skimming, not landing, are there going to be multiple locations or points of interest on each planet? If so, how do we reach them? Traversing the planet, getting into orbit, and reach them from above, or maybe simply by fast travel mechanics? Why not yes to all of them? Actually, I can't say yes to all of them, because you can't just navigate around an entirety of a planet. We are handcrafting each one of these environments, right? So we're not procedurally generating a billion planets for you to go see all of the exteriors of them. Instead, we're making pockets of the planet that you can fly down to that are going to be very specific in their make and their models, so that you have a lot of things to explore, a lot of things to obtain, a lot of opportunities. All of those types of things. So if we have a planet that has 2 different sites on it, it's very likely that we'll have fast travel options so that you can get from one side of the planet to the other fairly seamlessly. I use that term loosely, all right? But otherwise, another way that you would do it, just like we're flying from one location to another, we would have to leave the one location and then go to another. That would be similar on like these planetary sites where there's one planetary side here and one planetary side there. Spoilers, those actually exist on this planet over here. But you would have to leave one and then venture to the other. But no, you can't just fly around the planet while you're near in-atmo. You would have to leave the in-atmo, fly around the planet that way. Hopefully that makes sense. How much content in the demo? Less than 5% of what we are anticipating the full game experience is going to be. So we can only venture to about 4 locations here. Name an achievement Kickstarter tier? Oh, Geekbyte, I'm sure some people in the community are going to be incredibly witty to where we will probably have a name from you guys, something that you guys come up with, and we'll just plug it in, just for funsies. Because we love our community. You guys are seriously great. It's a lot of fun hanging out with you and just playing the games that we do, and you guys messing with us and us messing with you. It's great. Alright. Are there multiple solar systems? Yes. I present to you the multiple solar systems. Excellent. The first trophy should be Dennis Cleary was right. Oh, I think Dennis would really like that. Okay, so we're gonna go after this broken drone. Take him out, if we can. He's really beefy. We're gonna fly through this debris field. This might look familiar from a developer commentary site thing. A vlog, that's what it's called. We're going to keep firing at him. He seems to be a pretty big beefcake drone. As you can see, he's purple, and it says 06 next to him. That's his level. So he's not something that's easily destroyable for us, since we're only level 3. We need better gear. But maybe something will come from our endeavors of trying to take him down. Oh, hello there. Look at all these guys out in the back. Now, if I had an EMP generator, I'd probably just use that. But instead, we're just going to use missiles that we have. Get these guys out quickly so we can get to that loot and get back to the gameplay. I do see the rare pulse laser, so we're going to grab this. The beam laser. I'm excited. What do we got here? 10% of energy damage bypasses the armor. That's kind of nice, because this is an energy DPS focused weapon. 1% chance each shot will to increase all damage dealt to the target's hull by 100% by 5 seconds. That's kind of crazy awesome. And 10% experience per kill. I'll take it. Beam laser. 10% chance to regenerate 20% of the kinetic damage dealt as whole hit points. Done. Actually, I think we're going to use the coil gun instead of this Gatling gun as well. So we got this new pulse laser. We got this beam laser. And we still have the coil gun. Both of these are cyan. Look at that. They're the same color. And the colors of weapons are going to be randomized and maybe customizable. We're looking into that. Who knows? That might be something we can do. Maybe. We'll have to see. There's probably going to be some special effects on certain legendaries and whatnot as well, so we'll have to see how things open up for possibilities in the future. Alright, I feel like we covered this site pretty well. I see some other stuff over on that side. We're going to open some containers, head back to the station, sell some stuff, and it'll be good. Oh, I see another really good question over on Twitch. Asking about mod support, essentially. Will the game be moddable or have mod SDK? So, we have heard your feedback from EVERSPACE 1. A lot of you wanted the game to be moddable, and we agree that we think that it would be absolutely awesome. For us to prepare that, I think that there's a really big desire for us to make that happen. I think that there's also a lot of mystery surrounding how we're going to make that happen if we were to pursue it. So, we hear you. I think that as a whole, I can say that Rockfish desires to have this as well. It's one of those things we have to see if it's on our development timeline or not. Like, we can't guarantee that's going to happen, but we know that it would be a pretty cool thing to do. So, your voice is heard. Thank you, everybody who's requested mod support. We are listening. If we can make it happen, we'll pursue it. If we can't, we'll explain why. Seem fair? That's how we're moving forward with that. Just want to say that you guys are doing a fantastic job. Well, thank you, Turk. Please keep up the great work. We will try, and we will be able to do even greater work because we're working with you guys. I'll definitely be there on launch day. Hey, excellent. We will see you there in the future. Made it to a stream. Welcome, Seamus Harper. Transmogrifications in Diablo. Talon, I like the way you think. Kickstarter's trickling ever upwards. Of course it is. Of course it is. We got 3 days left. If it's not trickling upwards, well, then that's a problem. And I do want to give a big shout out to all of you guys for supporting us through this development cycle, becoming a part of the development cycle. This is something that you don't get from a pre-order. It's not like you're just buying the game early. No, you are actually playing a vital role in creating this. And depending on the tier, you're going to be able to put a mark of yourself. You're going to be able to plug yourself into this game space that will be present forever. So kudos to you for helping us through this process and helping make something the best it can possibly be. Sincerely, you guys are the rock stars here. I want to make sure that you're getting all of that credit where credit is due. It is great. Will there be crafting in the game? Probably. We will have more to talk about with crafting and mining and all of that type of stuff in the future. As of right now, we can't really talk too much about it, unfortunately. just for that explanation of mod support, I'm back in the project. Well, my goodness, Mr. Square Peg, thank you so much for the support. It is really appreciated. If we can make it happen, we'll push it forward. If we can't, again, we will tell you why and have everything as transparent as possible so that you know how the money is funding us forward and also the decisions that we're making. And also rest assured, like, even if we're making certain decisions and the vast majority of the community disagrees with it, if you guys are shouting down on us, we're not going to just ignore you. Like, again, you are part of this development process. Your guys' voice isn't something where it's like, oh yeah, no, we appreciate your support and your input and blah, blah, blah. Here's the generic message that you read on any of the major AAA publishers out there. No, like, your voice is integral to our process. Like, it is what makes this game a reality and makes it a game that is fun and enjoyable and great. That's on you guys. So thank you, sincerely. Like, this is in your hands. And if you really want something that badly, we're not going to ignore that. We're not. Like, we know how this works. We did this with EVERSPACE 1, and you guys saved certain components of the games. You transformed that game to be something much better than it was. And we're doing that same exact route with EVERSPACE 2. Like, that's how we do development. So seriously, thank you. I can't even, I know it sounds crazy that I'm thinking, it's almost like this is an appreciation stream, okay? But seriously, thank you. Thank you for helping us make this a reality in the best way it can possibly be. From the bottom of my heart, as well as from the Rockfish team. I love you guys. You're awesome. Thank you. All right, so want to keep answering your questions, but I also want to share some more gameplay. You guys are asking some really great questions. I really love it. So I'm going to dive in here a little bit longer. If you've asked a question and I didn't quite get to it, have no fear. We will get to it. I promise you. I know that Geekbyte is going crazy answering questions as well. Geekbyte, you are amazing. Thank you for doing your hard work, diving around all of the different ones, all of the different channels and whatnot. Seriously, what a rock star. So let's go ahead and dive right back into the game if it doesn't crash. Good. And let's go explore another site. We kind of extracted everything here. I think there's a little bit more. Let's take these TI processors and an energy core. And diagnostic systems, perfect. Let's go sell some of this stuff and then see what else we can find nearby. Maybe there's a little bit more content to show. Maybe we can show you how some of the areas have persistent effects to them, in fact. So first we're going to refill our missiles. Again, this isn't balanced. Missiles are probably going to cost a little bit more than they do here. It's costing me 36 credits to replenish my missiles. Woo! Alright, let's see what we got. I don't need it. Nah. No, I'm just going to sell most of the commodities because there's not a really strong point to them being in the prototype other than explaining that commodities will have varied price points to them depending on where you're at in the solar system and who you're trading to. For example, there might be a rare commodity over here in Cedo that everybody knows is really common here. They don't necessarily care how much you sell it for. They're like, yeah, 5 credits a piece. Where if you go all the way over here to Mintaka, they are going to be like, I'll give you 5,000 a pop, you know, whatever. So you'll definitely see that type of interaction with the economy in the game. Whether it's static or dynamic, we're still looking into the best case scenario for that. But it is definitely something we want to do right. Did not mean to launch from there. Let's get right back in here. Sell some more stuff. We're going to sell this to junk cores, scatterguns stinks, railguns no good. Alright. Alright, now let's keep going. Where are we going? Actually, where's the... Okay, so the planets are over there, so I need to go this way. So let's fly down towards the rings. Perfect. And now we're going where we need to go. To this new unknown location. So flying through space, leaving that planet behind. There's the star all the way over there. You can actually see it on the map. We explored this site already. We were there. We did some stuff. We were just at this planet, now we're flying over to that one. Alright, here we are. First I see some pretty big wreckage, like a ship got destroyed over here. Let's go explore this. Looks like there's an evacuee who's looking for assistance. We're gonna go see if we can help him out. We got this madcap first, don't want to deal with him. Oh, we have an anti-missile drone. Yeah, this is just melting them away. I love it. Loving that beam laser goodness, just like what we had in EVERSPACE 1. Pod, get rid of you. Perfect. Alright, let's go find this evacuee. See if we can help him out. Where's that right? Oh, it's over here. Let's see where he's at. We're getting closer. Aha! So it looks like he needs to take a little trip back to base. So that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna lug him around with our little grapple. Gonna be able, again, this grapple mechanic's gonna be used for all sorts of little interactions in the game. It's not just a random objects picker-upper thrower dealy. Like there's a lot of different functions it will serve. Not only just carrying things from location to location either. It will most assuredly have some combat features as well. Alright, let's go put this escape pod down right here. Perfect. He's thankful for our work. And I'm sure he'll give us something for the trouble. Probably Earthwine is my guess. Complete out of the blue guess. Perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and explore this asteroid right here. See what's inside. Ooh, pretty. We're gonna take the loot. All of it. Just absorbed all of the loot. We're looking at convenient factors like that for the record, so it's not like you have to stare at each piece and be like, click, 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 click. Like, if you want to just pick up everything in the area in the immediate vicinity, we've got those features as well. We know that you guys like convenience, so do we. Alright, let's see what's here at this base, and then we're gonna go destroy a base. Seems like fun. Alright, anything to buy at all? Ooh. Take it. You know what, let's go ahead and just buy these mine cluster launchers. We haven't actually showcased a blaster yet, so we're going to actually buy this. The blaster is very reminiscent of the not Pulse Blaster. Oh my goodness. It's the blaster in EVERSPACE 1. I am blanking on the name of it, but rest assured, it's very similar to that in how it functions. So this is an enemy base right here that is one of the persistent elements of this open world that we're going to be dealing with. So as I destroy this, you'll see a thing pop up on the upper left that says, destroy the outlaw base, 7 fuel tanks, 1 boost structures, 1 out of 6 turrets, 4 banners. I have to destroy all of this to remove ownership of this faction from this base. These types of interactions, again, are persistent. So if we destroy this base, they're not coming back. Somebody else might. There might be somebody else who occupies the site, maybe a traitor perhaps, or an opposing outlaw faction. Or maybe you would even have an ability to like make this your own somehow. I'm not sure about that. Like, there might be opportunities there, but the point is that this base is now no longer owned by its previous owners. And your actions here are going to decide what occurs next. So finally we have this little site here. We're just going to shoot the beam laser, destroy it, fight the dude, pick up all his sweet loot that he's dropped. This is actually a really good beam laser. I'm quite enjoying this. And we'll take these nanofibers, perfect, as well as a railgun. And a beam laser, some other stuff. We get blaster beam laser and a shield. Okay, perfect. Not the best loot in the world, but I'll take it. And there will also be other interactions with bases like these. Let's see if we can grab this real quick. So, of course you've seen interior spaces already with the tutorial mission. I'm sure that there would be other means to fly into bases and whatnot. It's not here in this particular demo, but what we can do is we can go underneath, show what it looks like if you were to pry your way inside. So this debris is in our way, so we're just going to lug it out of the way like so. Get out of here. Fly on inside. And hey, we got a couple drones that we can activate to our cause. That's nice. And some loot. Signal decoder, valuable mine launcher. Alright, we'll take it. We'll take it. So lots of different ways that you're going to be able to fumble around, accomplish the tasks that you're setting out to do, and explore the vastness of open space. Guys, thank you so much for watching the demonstration of EVERSPACE 2. We're going to move now into the last section where I'm basically just having a conversation with you guys. Ask your questions. I'm delighted to share with you any information that I possibly can. I can dive back into this gameplay. I can showcase the tutorial gameplay again. It's whatever you guys want at this point. Let's just talk, you know? Let's just have conversation. Good stuff. So what do you got? What do you want to throw at me? Anybody who is new to the stream as of right now, we have about 15-ish minutes left on the stream. My name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, the creator of EVERSPACE and EVERSPACE 2. EVERSPACE 2 is in its Kickstarter. It's in its last 3 days. So if you like anything at all about this experience and you want to be a part of this development process, I implore you to head over to Kickstarter right now, look for EVERSPACE 2, and see what is a price point that you may be able to support us with. Otherwise, join our community, get involved, raise your voice, harass us a little bit, give us some fan art. It's a good time. We're all having a good time together. So, good stuff. I see a response pertaining to co-op. I'm assuming that's from my boss, Michael. I want to say this out loud for everybody who doesn't know the drill. EVERSPACE is actually a single-player experience, intentionally. We want to make a single-player game here. What Michael said is co-op is half the legwork of multiplayer. The code base and graphical assets of EVERSPACE 2 were crafted for a solid single-player experience. Changing this route would now cost us a tremendous amount of extra money and even add years to the development cycle. Maybe for another title, wink. That is his response. So, EVERSPACE 2, single-player experience, very intentional. It's going to be very detail-oriented, a very elaborate campaign that will last at least 20 to 30 hours long, just the campaign. Of course, you can diverge away from that at any point to your desire to go exploring, taking on jobs, various missions, helping people out, hurting people, whatever you would like to do, that's on you, that is at your discretion. Hopefully, we're going to have a game here that can easily allow you to pour in 100+ hours of enjoyment out of. So, that's the goal. Will there be VR mode? This is another great question. We did VR with EVERSPACE 1 and we got a lot of feedback, a lot of criticism. So we've learned our lesson. We've gotten a lot better about the processes that we are trying to accomplish, and how we are moving forward with this is instead of having VR as an added element of just owning the game, what we would do is we would look at VR support as an external element. And we would look at it as an application that we can invest fully with our time and dedication to make it fully realized as a full VR experience for the VR community at large. That's if we go that direction. I'm not saying that's what we are doing, because we haven't decided on it yet. We have a lot of decisions that we have to make internally, of course, pertaining to our finances and the directions and priorities, blah, blah, blah. So it's a possibility. If it is, it will be separate. Woo! So many questions now. This is great. What brand of champagne are you going to use to celebrate a successful Kickstarter? Asked Captain Richard. I like you. Oh, you're our friend. My goodness. That's a great question from Michael. Michael, if you want to answer that one, Captain Richard was over on Twitch. Will there be a minigun Gatling gun with an extremely high rate of fire? Stop it, game. All right. That will overheat quickly if not managed correctly, like short burst of a few seconds. That sounds like it could be really kind of fun, really kind of cool. I am dedicating my 80 euros funding to that. That sounds pretty cool. I think that we could absolutely make overheating weapons something that could grant certain benefits and obviously certain caveats in the randomization pool. I can't guarantee that would be implemented fully, but I do like the idea. I think that's solid. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the team comes up with. We've got a lot of really cool ideas in the pipe as of right now. I'm sure that some of you guys are going to love what we're able to showcase in time. But it's one of those things where we can't talk about until the time is right. So, good stuff. Will there be NPCs that could be wingmen? Matthew, that is a great question. So, over on YouTube, we have a lot of companions that we are building out, fleshing out in the game world that you'll be able to meet, probably have various missions and interactions with through the course of the game. Wingman is a very specific term that I don't know if I can speak to as of right now. Michael, if we can, please let me know if we can share more about companions and wingmen and stuff like that. If we can't, all I can tell you is probably. Oh my gosh. It's you know what? It's the last stream before the Kickstarter ends. I'm gonna like give you just a little bit more. Michael's probably shaking his head like, damn it, Eric. Oh my gosh. But you're gonna have the ability to like be out in this world interacting with NPCs. They're gonna be interacting with you. It's a vast space here. Come on, guys. Like, there's a lot. This would be lonely by yourself. Let's be clear. This would be incredibly lonely. Surely you would be venturing out with other NPCs or you know, that sort of stuff. But again, we'll have more information about this in the future. Oh my gosh, I love you guys. You're great. Focusing on the present, but are there plans for the future of the game after launch? So the way that most development works is that we plug in the timetable and say, okay, well, this is where we want the full game to release, so it's not leaving this deadline, right? Obviously, through the course of development, you have what's called content creep. I'm sure you guys have heard this term before. If you haven't, basically what that is that as you're developing the game, you come up with new ideas, fresh ideas, better ideas than what was in the initial vision. And so you kind of divert away from the initial path. And through that process, it kind of maybe extends the development cycle a little bit longer. And if that occurs, then deadlines have to shift around and people wait longer. And then you have people saying stuff like, well, you know, we really want to focus on the best experience possible, so just give us more time, which it's fine. That's great. I'm not dogging on that. Like, it's just a part of the development cycle. So at Rockfish Games, what we do is we say, this is the date that the game is launching, 2021. That is when the full game will launch. Guaranteed, no questions asked. I know that we're going to have a lot of extra content that's delivered from you guys through ideas, and we're also going to come up with stuff through the course of development ourselves. And we would like to realize that in some capacity, so absolutely, we in our plan, we have a time marked down for DLC development if we have that opportunity show up based on our funding and our goals and all that type of stuff at that point in time. So while it's in the plan, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. We want it to happen though. And that way we'll also be able to take all of that content that we weren't otherwise able to put into the game space by that deadline, pull back those ideas, might even be from you guys, and then create a new rich DLC experience. And if it keeps going from there, it's also more than possible for there to be multiple DLCs as well, just in case anybody is wondering about that. So in the initial plan though, with the full scope of the game, the deadline is solid. Do we have plans for DLC content? We already do if we hit certain goals, but that can change. That's not a guarantee. The full game though, that's a guarantee. Perfect. Will there be joystick and throttle support? Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely? Absolutely. Okay, so Michael's responded about wingmen in particular, that term that we used. We probably won't have optional wingmen gameplay, as that makes things like missions super complicated. And I want to be clear in this response. This is something akin to like squad-based games. That type of interaction of gameplay where you'd have like, you know, a bunch of fighters with you and having to navigate how they're interacting with the environment, telling them what to do and how to do it, that is complicated. So that is what he's speaking towards pertaining to wingman gameplay. That is not something that we are likely going to have through the course of development of EVERSPACE 2. Thank you for confirming that, Michael. It's very appreciated. Wouldn't it be lonely if you had an Arc 9000 flat cannon? Dude, neutron cannons exist, man, in EVERSPACE 1. So we'll have to see how things move forward in the future. Let's see. Goodness gravy, says Dennis Cleary. That's my tagline. Suggestion, would it be cool to have some mine gameplay as a fun homage to the Descent series? Oh man, we love Descent here at Rockfish Games. At least I know a couple of us do. I know that we would absolutely pay homage to various games and inspiration that we have grown akin to through not only our childhood experiences, but also our adult ones. So definitely be keeping your eyes peeled for all of those crazy little references. And if you didn't catch them from EverSpace 1, what are you guys doing with your life? Go play it, find the references, and then giggle gleefully like a little schoolgirl. It'll be delightful. How do we get Draftsir as an in-game NPC? Captain Richard, you are a madman! There may be wingmen supported. For those of you who don't know, my username online is Giraffosaur. I'm 6'9". That's a little over 2 meters tall for all of you German folk out there, or anyone from Europe. So I am not a small man. I am a large man. So the username is quite fitting. So if you see Giraffosaur on Discord responding to you, or on Twitch, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Facebook. Well, no, Facebook is my real name, Eric Schrader. You will know that that's me. So it's fun, good times. Fun, good times. There may be a wingman supporting you in certain missions, though. Boom! Confirmed. 100% confirmed. Excellent. How is death handled in EverSpace 2? This is another great question. We did answer this before on stream, but I want to cover it again because it's an important one to answer. Basically, we want to respect your looting and shooting. So if you find sweet loot and you die, we don't feel that it's going to be a best case scenario for you to lose that as you start back from a checkpoint. So what we'd rather do is kind of have like a revive-ish mechanic, if you will, where you keep all the stuff that you got, but you're going to have to start that mission you are particularly trying to accomplish over again. So, but again, that's not like finalized. Those are the elements of how we are addressing the saving system so that you're not losing a lot of progress pertaining to your itemization, but you are losing progress pertaining to the missions that you're selecting and trying to move forward in. Boom. Ooh. Big man is friend-shaped. Oh my gosh, you guys. The first part worked out best with keyboard and mouse. Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. I think this game plays the best in keyboard and mouse. I do want to show you a cool little thing. We have a really talented UI designer here at Rockfish. Oh, I think I might have just killed the game. Oh no, okay. So I'm going to plug in a controller. We do have controller support even with the demo right now. So when I do this, watch the UI. Actually, I'm going to move my head out of the way. The UI actually changes. See that? So now, like, if I hold down the X button, you'll see that the left side of the screen, like, it pops out a little bit in the lower left. And in the middle, it shows a direction that I can push, and it'll allow me to do that interaction. And it's the same thing on the right side. I can hold down the B button. It gives me those options. And then I could use those different elements accordingly, like this sticky turret, for example. Boom, just like that. So we're already thinking about all the different ways that we can have fun-filled controller support as well as the appropriate UI to support it. I said all of that stuff, and I still prefer mouse and keyboard. But still, like, definitely fun, good times. Do I even have legs? That is a question we'll have to answer at a future time. Through the course of development, we're still working on it. Ooh, Move Master. Actually, that's a really fantastic device to play the game with. Alright, so guys, we are closing things up. I'm going to answer like 2 more questions. Can we go fly around the planet when near the surface? Depends on the planet. We are having handcrafted locations for you to explore, venture out to in all of this world of EVERSPACE 2. Some of which are going to be sites at planets. Again, handcrafted, so it's not just some randomized sphere in space. You're going to have very intentional places to explore, caves to fly into, derelict stations maybe that have crashed onto a planet, stuff like that, that you will very much be inclined to go venture towards. It's good stuff. Any more? Let's see. Do you notice in EVERSPACE 1 that the most new players didn't use consumables much? I absolutely did notice that. In fact, I try to dive into people's streams of EVERSPACE 1 and say the difference between a good player and a great player is the consumption of their consumables and their secondaries. Also circle strafing, but I digress. Use those tools while you're alive because you can't use them when you're dead. Simple, easy peasy maths. If you are rushing the Kickstarter goal faster before the end, will you announce stretch goals? One can dream. If we hit the goal before the end, yeah, we'll tell you all about the stretch goals. My guess is that because we haven't hit the point to where we can show you the stretch goals, we're probably going to look into other ways that we could reach those anyway. But we'll give you more information about all of that stuff after the Kickstarter concludes or whenever it reaches its funding goal, of course. So you'll get all of that information. Again, we want to be as transparent as possible with you guys through the course of this process, through the course of development. So any and all questions, we just want to talk to you and make sure that you understand why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing what we're doing. We know developers can be kind of hard to trust these days, so if you don't trust us at first, that's fine. Barrage us with questions. We will have a conversation with you. It's fine. It's fine. Are planets spheres? Planets are spheres. Oh, in EVERSPACE 2. Excellent. So the locations where you're venturing to, you're not going to be able to go all around the planet. There are specific sites on the planets themselves that you will venture to because, again, these are handcrafted planet-side locations. This is not something where we're going to handcraft an entire freaking planet 20 times. We're not going to handcraft 20 different freaking entire planets. Are you crazy? But we will have unique locations that you can venture to at planets that are uniquely handcrafted, for sure. For sure. All right. Last question I'm answering. If I didn't get your questions answered, get to the Discord, okay? Go to the Discord. There's an AMA channel. Light it up. Go freaking crazy in there. We will answer as much as we possibly can, myself included. It'll be a good time. So the last one I'm going to answer here. Will there be G&B capital ships which you can fight against? Says cuz. There are going to be many different larger ships, much larger than capital ships even. Entire stations, in fact, that you may or may not need to engage with or fly into. G&B's probably going to own one or two of those. We'll find out in the future. So guys, thank you so much for being a part of this stream. You guys have really made this adventure, this journey of development for EVERSPACE 2 an incredible one. Sincerely, thank you so much for all the love, all the support, and all the questions that you guys have rocked this stream. It has been absolutely my pleasure to present this stream to you, give you the gameplay experience of EVERSPACE 2 where it's currently at, give you some ideas of what we're trying to do in the future. Please join me next week and all the weeks to come. Every Friday, I know for sure we'll be streaming to just continue that conversation, answer live questions for the community and whatnot. That schedule may change, actually. We'll see what happens after the Kickstarter. Fair? Otherwise, I will always be in that Discord, always answering those questions, having great times with y'all. I want to see so much more fan art. I want to see all of it. Some of you guys were starting to like draw little pictures. I saw some color correction of like various imagery, like basically cool stuff. Video footage, you know, whatever you do, like maybe make a Lego model of a freaking Interceptor. I don't care. I love that stuff. We eat that stuff up here at work. So if you do that, share it with us. We will give you mad praise. It'll be great. Maybe if something you do is really, really cool, we'll sneak it into the game. I don't know. It's possible. We're having a good time here. We hope that you are too. Okay, I'm talking way too much. You guys have been awesome. I have been Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for Rockfish Games, serving you because you guys, oh my gosh, don't stop being awesome. I will catch you in a future stream or on Discord. Toodles! Oh man, we're getting so close to the funding goal. We had such a good boost through the course of that stream. Guys, if you are not Kickstarter supporters, check out those links on the screen right now. Get into the Discord. Follow us on Twitter. The Kickstarter link is in the lower right. Get there. Get on it. Help us make this game the best it can possibly be. Okay, bye!